Hello everybody, this is Friday, February 5th, the release weekend for Kaldheim. The most metal set in Magic history, as they keep saying. And I have with me here a set booster box. And I am excited to open it on camera for everybody. There's a lot of things I'm looking for in this set. I so far have only opened a pre-release kit and a couple of packs that came with that. So there's a lot of good stuff in this set. I've heard that the most valuable thing that you can open is Vorinclex. Specifically, the Phyrexian text version is the most valuable card in this set. So that would be awesome to open. But not just for value's sake, it's also one of, I think, 2 cards ever printed in Phyrexian text. Just that and Elishnorn. And I don't even remember how you got an Elishnorn back in the day. It was like that. So yeah, I'd totally like to have one for, you know, just because it's cool. Will I play it in anything? I don't know. I don't have really like a deck that it would be good for, I don't think, but who wouldn't want one though?
It looks pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I haven't introduced myself. Of course, if you're on this channel, you probably know this is Question Mark, and I'm here with Happy Batty again.
Hi. She
has her own box that we'll be filming probably tomorrow and uploading a little later. So this is probably going to be kind of a long one. I took like an hour to open 8 booster packs before, and today we have, well, how many booster packs in this thing? 24, I think? 30 set boosters. So each of these packs, though, has 12 cards instead of 15. And a lot of these are going to be like commons and uncommons we've seen before. I don't plan on having something to say about every single common this time. But these set boosters have an interesting structure. There's something that we're seeing for the second time ever, the first time being Zendikar Rising. So, we know a few things about the kind of slots you can get in here, and of course there is the list. A magical list of 300 reprints from across Magic history, including 1 preprint. I heard there's 1 card from Time Spiral Remastered in here. It could get like 1 in 4 chance of any pack, of any set booster pack, having a card from the list on it. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started here. And let's see which way these should be open. So the front, okay, so what I was thinking of as the front gives us the art card. Okay. So the art card here, this is for Gates of Istval. Okay, so every one of these packs is going to start with an art card. Set booster packs are the only way that you can get art cards, and they've only done them like 3 times ever. And I believe there's a 1 in 4, or is it 1 in 10 chance that your art card will be gold foil stamped by the artist, and those are actually valuable. Otherwise, they're just kind of collectible and pretty. Magic art is very pretty. Let's see, I'll put that up in the corner there for the art cards. Okay, then the next slot is the snow slot. And actually, you know what? I think these are a little small on the screen. Let me zoom in here a bit. There we go. Okay. You know what? Yeah, I'll go with that. That should make it easier to read. So yeah, the next slot is going to be snow in every one of these packs. It'll be a snow land. There's the 5 basics, the 10 dual lands like this one, which I think are quite good, actually, and a couple other snow lands that could be mixed in there, but that one's always going to be snow. Then we got what are going to be a few themed commons and then a few themed uncommons, but the theme is kind of loose in my experience. These are green-black, shapeshifter, demon thing, an elf cleric thing. I don't know. Then Fall of the Imposter. I'm actually not familiar with all these cards, so I might read some of them. 3 mana, green and white, okay. Put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature. Exile a creature with the greatest power among creatures target opponent controls. Okay, that's weird, and I'm not sure I like it. Bredegard Stronghold. Well, at least these are the same colors. Oh, and Maja Bredegard Protector. Okay. 5 mana, 2/3 legendary creature. Other creatures you control get +1/+1. Other creatures. Okay, all creatures. And whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, create a 1/1 human warrior token. Okay, so she's a landfall commander, a go-wide commander. Seems solid. I don't think I have a use for her, but neat. I will maybe keep her in a little pile here. There we go. I'm trying to keep an eye on where the center is here. It's somewhere around Kiki's cheeky. Crush the Weak. Okay, deals 2 damage to each creature. If a creature dealt this way would die this turn, exile it instead, foretell. Okay, not really a commander card. So I imagine most of the people watching this video probably know me, and if you know me, you know that I'm a commander player exclusively. So I'm going to be evaluating any of these cards that I talk about from the commander perspective. And gosh, I like Tyrite Sanctum. This is definitely on my list of cards that I wanted. It comes in untapped, so there's no drawback there. Taps for a colorless, so that's useful. 2 colorless and tap, target legendary creature becomes a god in addition to its other types, and you put a +1/+1 counter on it. Now that's nice, but you really play it for the last ability. 4 and tap, sacrifice Tyrite Sanctum, put an indestructible counter on target god. So, I figure in Commander, if you want your commander to become indestructible, play this in it, and there's a chance that you might be able to pull it off. So I'm going to try this in Xantcha, where I'm going to make Xantcha a 6/6 god, and then if she survives around to the point where I can get in and give her indestructible, then, whoo, we're having a good time.
Damn.
Yeah. So I'm...
Yeah. Just make your creature a god now. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I might play it in multiple decks.
Auto Ascension right there.
Xantcha the God, coming on, moving on up.
I'm gonna make
Okay.
Sacred Cat a god.
I mean, oh, no, sorry, it says target legendary creature becomes a god.
I'll make a legendary cat a god.
There you go.
Cat
Kemba
god.
or something.
Yeah.
Alright, well that's... Oh yeah, another thing about set boosters, they can have multiple rares. Here's another rare. Dark Boar Pathway. This is the black and green double face land. And I'm of the opinion that these are great in 2-color decks, but exclusively 2-color decks. Wouldn't you know it, though? I also got this, a black-green elf commander deck, because I'm already playing Abomination Atlanta War, a green-black elf commander. So I got that for some of the special cards that are in there, and Dark Boar Pathway is going straight in there. I think if you've got more than 2 colors, then it doesn't give you enough of your colors on any given turn, that you're getting a third of the colors you might need, so, and you can't fetch them. But I think that in a 2-color deck, these are awesome. So that's 2 rares in this pack, and we have a showcase card. I believe there's a showcase card in every one of these sets, but maybe just one. This is an uncommon legendary creature, and it's got very cool art. I'm probably going to be posting this on The Noise, and this is the current background for The Noise. So, that's neat. And there's a guaranteed foil in every pack, and this is that. Okay, the last card could be a token, could be an ad, could be a card from the list. What will it be today? It's a token. Angel Warrior token. Neat. Okay, and this is just a foil, common. But let's see. Okay, I'm going to make separate stacks for the rares, the foils. I'll put the art and the token cards together, and then the showcase cards. Well, I'm doing that all off camera there. Just so I can make some sense out of them. Okay. Oh, also, of course, because I bought a box, they give you this foil alternate art Realm Walker. 2 colors and a green for a creature shapeshifter with Changeling. It's a 2/3. As it enters the battlefield, you choose a creature type. You may look at the top card of your library at any time, and you may cast creature spells of the chosen type from the top of your library. This is card advantage in tribal decks. If you're playing green, I think it is quite good. I probably won't play it in my dinosaur deck because this is too small of a dinosaur and it's not ramp. That's the main thing that's trying to do. Can't play it in my vampire tribal, can't play it in ninja tribal. I might play it in my elves. In fact, I probably will. I think it's good in elves.
It also makes a really good cat.
It makes an excellent cat. I'm glad you brought that up. I think your cat deck, actually, is a better place for Realm Walker than any of my decks.
Yeah, and I got one too, because I bought a box.
Yeah! Ooh, we got the wolf. What is his name? Sarulf, I think is his name. Sarulf Realm Eater. Yeah. Okay. Neat. A new extended Kaldheim trailer came out today, which has some of the stuff with Kaya that we've already seen, but also has Sarulf in it, and it's looking very cool. Also, Snow-Covered Swamp. Hey, let's see. I may want to keep the snow cards separate or something. I don't know. I have a deck that I've been using, like, 25 Snow-Covered Swamps in for years now. I've been using the ones from Cold Snap, because I bought a bunch of Cold Snap back in the day. And I don't know that I really necessarily want to upgrade them, unless I get some foil ones. Or if I get, like, 25 of these, they're quite cool. But, Cinderheart Giant, pretty cool. I'm going to play that in my Giant deck. Squash, pretty cool. I'm going to play that in my Giant deck. Undersea Invader. Okay, see, there's a theme on this one. These ones are giants. Demon Bolt. Okay. 4 damage to a creature. Planeswalker. Foretell. Not bad, but you can't deal it to a player, so... Craven Hulk is the first giant... Or, sorry, the first coward in Magic, who's actually printed as a coward. Boreal Outrider is a pretty good snow creature. Elven Ambush. Now, this one, actually, I want to talk about for a second, because I do have that elf deck, and for a minute, I was thinking this is a strict upgrade on Elvish Promenade. They are both 4 mana. They both create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token for each elf you control. The difference is, Elvish Promenade is a sorcery, and this is an instant. But also, Elvish Promenade is a tribal sorcery elf. And that's important. So, while this one can be cast faster, the other one can be cast and counts as an elf in my graveyard, or in my hand, or wherever else. If I'm making elves cheaper, or doing something whenever I cast an elf spell, or, as my commander, the Abomination Llanowar, says, cares about the number of elves in my graveyard, well, Elvish Promenade counts all of those things, and this one doesn't. So... Elven Ambush is not strictly better, as I originally thought, but I think I should be playing them both, as they're both very good. Anyway, Herald, King of Skemfar. This is great. This is another good elf card for my elf deck, although in my pre-release kit I did get a showcase version, so this one likely isn't going to see play. I think it's interesting, though, that he's holding this staff and breaking it. The elves on Kaldheim used to be the gods, but then they were defeated by the people who became the current gods. And when that happened, they were splintered into, like, dark elves and light elves.
Wait, were they the gods, or did they just worship the old gods?
They were the old gods.
Okay.
The elves were the old gods because, I guess, they're immortal. They don't die of old age. But they were defeated, and splintered into a green and black faction. But now, after thousands of years, the elves want to come back, take on the gods. And Herald here has united the black and green elves. He's the king of the Skemfar, both elf tribes. His brother is a planeswalker, who is also an elf, of course. So we'll see him in here somewhere. I think it's, Tyvar, referenced in the card here. But I thought it would be neat to come up with what this staff does, so I actually designed a card that is that staff, just for my own personal use. Haunting Voyage. Oh, if I remember right, this is one of the cards I really wanted from this set. It's a mythic rare.
It's a spooky boat.
It is a spooky boat with zombos on it. 6 mana sorcery, choose a creature type. Return up to 2 creature cards of that type from your graveyard to the battlefield. So 6 mana for 2 resurrections? That's pretty good. But if this spell was foretold, where you have to pay 2 mana ahead of time and then 7 later, so it's quite a bit more mana. But if you do it, return all creature cards of the chosen type from your graveyard to the battlefield instead. From your graveyard to the battlefield. So I was comparing this to Patriarch's Bidding, where you pay 5 mana and everyone chooses a creature type, and then everyone resurrects all creatures of any of those types. And at 5 mana, that card is really good if you're the tribal deck. I'm playing it in my elf deck currently. I think it's played in my vampire deck too. So, is this better or worse? Well, it's more mana, so you got to be able to pay the additional mana. But your opponents don't get to choose a creature type and get something from their graveyard. Which maybe they're not playing tribal, but they might choose Angel and get back Avacyn or something. Or they might choose Demon and get Runescarred Demon, or Giant and get Sun Titan, or who knows. They may only get 1 or 2 things, but they benefit. Whereas this is purely one-sided, so it's probably worth paying 1 or 2 extra mana if your deck can make the mana. And I think an elf deck can, so it should be good there.
If your elf deck can't, you built it wrong.
Yeah, I think so. I'm on the fence about playing this elf in my elf deck. It is a 2-mana 2/2. It's a snow creature. Isn't really relevant there. Okay. But if you tap it, you can untap a snow land. So I could make all of my land snow lands just about. Oh, yeah, she needs to not get into that pasta.
Yeah. I'm going to put it in the counter so that Bob doesn't get to it.
Okay. So yeah, I'm on the fence about this one. It does kind of ramp, but I don't know if I need it that bad. But okay, then we have a foil, but it is the least interesting card in the set. It is actually the only vanilla creature in the set, and it depicts a bear, but is not a bear card. Okay. Oh. Okay, well, we got a token. Alright. So, that's 2 down. Once again, I expect I will probably have less to say about other cards and other packs as I go through them, as I'll have seen the same ones over and over again. Neat. Okay. And we got a snow-covered mountain. That's great. Actually, I love very saturated colors, like mountains that have lava on them. And this one also has ice on it. This is actually great. And this little shield down here, where'd that come from? Was someone tobogganing on it? I don't know. It doesn't tell all of a story, but it leaves enough for your imagination. And there's that smoke in the air and the frostiness around here, but it's still red enough that you can tell from a distance it's a mountain. Actually, that's my only problem with a lot of these new snow-covered lands. The border is so overwhelmingly white, and the art is so overwhelmingly, white, that you can't easily tell from a distance what type of basic land it is. So, I wasn't totally sold on them, but if I could find, 25 of this, or if there were foil, imagine the contrast that you would get if this was foil. I want a bunch of this. We'll see. I have a deck that's currently playing all snow-covered mountains, but there's no reason why I'm playing snow-covered mountains. I just had a bunch, so I used them. Okay, Grizzled Outrider. This card's actually pretty good for the kind of elf deck that I'm trying to do. Because for Abomination of Llanowar, I want to have elves in my graveyard. Oh, come on, focus. There we go. Mill 3 cards, then return a land or elf card from your graveyard to your hand if you can't draw a card. Yeah, that's actually kind of perfect for my elf deck, because I want to get more in the graveyard, because they count there. 5 mana, 4/3, when it enters the battlefield, remove X counters from target permanent where X is the number of elves you control, or target creature an opponent controls gets -X until end of turn, where X is the number of elves you control. I'm really on the fence about this one. On the one hand, I'm not super excited to be playing a 5 mana elf, regardless of what the text is. but the text is kind of good in that it kills a creature, likely, possibly a big one if you have a bunch of elves, and it's a big elf, a 4/3. Still, I think it's probably not going to make the cut. I want the deck to be faster. This might make the cut, though, because if the way that I'm thinking about that deck is that if it isn't an elf itself, it needs to justify itself by, like, making 2 elves or something. Well, this one does. Returns a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. If it's an elf, create 2 elf warrior creature tokens, and 5 mana to cast up front, but you could foretell it. In my elf deck, I'm probably going to be foretelling it, actually, to play it for 2 early and 4 later. My elves boost my commander when they're in the graveyard, but they boost them equally, sometimes more when they're on the battlefield. So going straight from the graveyard to the battlefield is great. I don't want anything in this elf deck that returns from the graveyard to hand, for instance, because then my commander shrinks. But this doesn't just grow, keep it the same size, it grows it by 2. So I actually definitely am going to be playing that card. Turgid Shadow, each player sacrifices 2 creatures, an instant. This is probably good in something, I don't know what. Honestly, kind of a cop-out, but I don't. Poison the Cup. Destroy target creature. If this spell was foretold, scry 2. I'm not totally sold on this card yet. Seems kind of good in that just 2 mana to destroy a creature in the moment at instant speed is good, and then you get to scry 2. That's good, I guess, but... And then 3 to... So it's just... I guess it's a strictly better murder, in that literally if you don't foretell it, it's 3 mana, destroy target creature, instant speed. The rest of the text doesn't matter. So that's murder. And then you can also foretell it, and then scry 2. So it's a strictly better murder. But people aren't playing murder in Commander, so...
Strictly Better Murder, that's the name of my new album.
Yeah! The new Kaldheim album, Strictly Better Murder. Oh, there's so many good metal song names you can come up with using magic slang. Bolt to the head. No, bolt your face, actually. That'd be pretty good. So, I don't know how good this card is in Commander. I'm not going to know the answer to all these. The Blood Sky Massacre. So, this is the first saga that the art depicted is a tattoo. It's a sleeve. And how cool of Magic to embrace, like, tattoo art in this way. So, 3 mana to create a 2/3 red Demon Berserker token with Menace. Okay, well, that text alone makes the card worth it, I think. You might play 3 mana for a 2/3 with Menace. It does 2 other things, though. Whenever a Berserker attacks this turn, you draw a card and lose 1 life. Well, that's a little nice upside if the Berserker lives, or if you're playing multiple Berserkers. I don't know. Add a red for each Berserker you control. Until end of turn, you don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. So, I think... I don't know. Card's alright. It's not bad, and it's a rare. But it really wants you to have, like, other Berserkers. So go get your Lovisa Cold Eyes. Make something happen. Who knows? Essica's Chariot. It's Catwagon.
Catwagon!
Oh.
I hope I get that card in my box somewhere.
I think there's a good chance you will. There's 2 versions of it, and this is the fluffier version. So this is one where I think we actually don't want the showcase version, where it's meaner.
I forgot what it looks like.
They look actually more like wolves than cats in the other one. They're dark and mean looking. But this one, it's so cozy. Look at it, its little face. And supposedly, you're making 2 cat tokens, and then they can crew the vehicle. But it looks like they want someone else to pull them in the chariot.
They're taking a catnap. They'll pull it later.
But also, whenever this attacks, you create a token that's a copy of target token you control. So all by itself, it's like a combo, where you pay 4 mana for 4 power and toughness that can then crew the vehicle that can then make a copy of your cat token. And so you're making a 2/2 every turn. People are comparing this to a Titan. like a Grave Titan or something. It's 2 less mana for 2 less power and toughness, but otherwise it's kind of a mini Grave Titan. Except also the vehicle survives board wipes. So this card's actually pretty good. I'm not sure if it's good in a cat deck specifically, though.
Yeah, no.
I don't know.
It's definitely an ode to Freya and her chariot that was pulled by cats.
Absolutely. So, but maybe this is an excuse to play cats in another deck that would take advantage of the copying thing more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and we got a snow card. It's a bird. That's nice. We got our foil. It's Open the Omen Paths. Do I care about this card? 3 mana, instant. Add 2 mana of any one color, and 2 mana of any other color. Spend this mana only to cast creature or enchantment spells. That's weird. I'm not sure I care. And oh, hey, I got a card from the list, and it's Awakening, which is a very cool card. I don't know if it's super valuable. It might be. It's from Stronghold, and people still play it. A card from 1998 that people still play with someone in their pajamas on the cover. It's got to be good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also, since it's such an old card, that's brand new in brand new condition.
Yeah.
Like, how many of them sort of floating around in, like, you know, beat up condition?
Actually, come to think of it, the only versions of Awakening that I've seen in person before were pretty beat up. But, so 4 mana for an enchantment. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, untap all creatures and lands. This card is wild. Everyone gets untap steps on everyone's turn.
You get an untap. You get an untap.
Everybody gets an untap. Only of creatures and lands, but that's most of the stuff that matters.
I mean, like, that's the stuff that you mostly care about tapping, unless you play a heavily artifact deck.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
some of those are really creatures, too.
Mm-hmm. So, that's a really cool card to get from the list. Let's see, I'm seeing if there are any other showcase cards that I've pulled. So far I've only noticed one. And then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rares out of 3 packs so far. 3 foils. Okay, unless you count Awakening, which is a rare. Okay. I'll double check some things later, but one of the things I like about these set boosters is there's more than 1 rare per pack. Consistently. Okay, so we've got another art card. That's nice. I don't think I'm going to linger on too many of these art cards, unless they're particularly striking. Snow-covered forest. That's cool. Death Knell Berserker. 2 mana 2/2 elf Berserker. When it dies, if its power was 3 or greater, return a 2/2. No, create a 2/2 black zombie Berserker creature token. So if it got bigger somehow, then when it dies, you make a zombie. Okay. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to pull that off in my elf deck. I'm probably not going to try. Elderfang Disciple. Okay, here's another 2 mana black elf. This one's a 1/1 elf cleric. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. This is Burglar Rat, but an elf. I'm not going to play it. People don't like discarding cards. And it's not worth the trouble, I don't think. Feed the Serpent is one of the best common removal spells I've seen ever. But Jarl of the Forsaken, which, in Kaldheim, as well as other like Nordic cultures, I imagine most of the J's we see are supposed to be pronounced like Y's. So Jarl of the Forsaken. If you played Skyrim, you know what we're talking about. Easy Jarl. Or Sheezy Jarl. They're Jarl. 4 mana, 3/2, zombie cleric, flash. Oh, it's a fast zombie. When it enters the battlefield, destroy target creature or a planeswalker an opponent controls. Oh, that was dealt damage this turn. And foretell. Not gonna play it in anything. Way down. It's almost a double entendre. So this will cost to cast a spell. Exile a creature from your hand. Target creature gets -3/-3 until end turn. Not really relevant in our format. Wither Crown, 2 mana, enchant creature has base power 0, and at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life unless you sacrifice this creature. A weird kind of removal, I'm not sure where it's optimal. Elven Bow, I think doesn't quite make the cut in an elf deck. Provoke the Trolls is the last thing you want to be doing on the internet. And it does literally like damage a creature and then just make it mad if it doesn't die. Calamity Bearer. Heck yeah. I am currently working on a giant tribal deck, which, gosh, is that making my 5th tribal deck? Dinosaurs, ninjas, vampires, elves, and now giants. I guess I like tribal. I also need 5 copies of Cavernous Souls real fast. No big deal.
Yeah, just real fast.
Yeah, they're just, are they $80, $100? I don't know.
Fuck if I know.
I have one, and it's foil. Jay and I split a booster box, and that was of Ultimate Masters, and that was the best card that either of us pulled, and I got it, and it was the foil Cavernous Souls. Well, anyway, Calamity Bearer is really good in Giant Tribal, as it doubles the damage from your giants. And it's a 4-mana 3/4, but it might as well be a 4-mana 6/4. So, yeah, real good. Grim Draugr, kind of cool, I guess. Raise the Draugr is my foil. 2-mana instant. Return target creature. Choose one. Return target creature from your graveyard to your hand. Return 2 target creature cards that share a creature type from your graveyard to your hand. King Narfi calls. No. Well, foil. Okay. And we got another card from the list. I am, 4 packs in, and so far I've doubled the odds of these list cards. And Noble Benefactor, I remember as a card I was looking for a while back, but thought it was a little expensive. I think it's like $7, $8, something like that. I don't know. My memory could be wildly off on this one, but I love how saturated the blue is on this. And it's from Weatherlight, so even older than the last one, 1997, Deterlizy. You don't see art from Deterlizy anymore. Or Dieterlizy. I don't know how to pronounce that. Summon Cleric, so yeah, real old school, it's a summon. If Noble Benefactor is put into any graveyard from play, so if it dies, each player may search his or her library for any one card and put that card into their hand. Each player who searches in their library this way shuffles it afterwards. So it's a blue 3-mana 2/2 that when Cleric, a blue Cleric, that when it dies, everyone tutors if they want. Would you like to tutor for literally any card in your deck and put it in your hand? It is a May ability. You don't have to.
Yeah, you can tutor if you want to.
Or you could leave your friends behind. Wow. Noble Benefactor and Awakening. Those are pretty good, I'd say above average list cards. When I got cards from the list last time with Zendikar Rising, I got 2 different cards that were basically unplayable. One of them was a like conspiracy or something. Yeah, it was insulting. Now this, okay, so I got an art card that is foil stamped with the artist name on it. But what is this one? This is Haggy Mob. It's a mob of trolls. So, stamped art card is a mob of trolls. All right. Now, I did get a foil snow-covered forest, and that's cool. I would love to be playing more foil snow-covered lands, but forest wasn't one I was looking for. I'm looking for mountain, or better yet, swamp. But still nice. That means I've got one more guaranteed foil in this pack. It's going to be a double foil pack on top of having a signature art card. Smashing Success. Actually, people aren't talking about this because it's a common, but like 4-mana instant, destroy target artifact or land. If an artifact is destroyed this way, create a treasure token. This card is actually, I think, kind of good. It's an instant that can destroy a land, and if you don't want to be a jerk, you can destroy an artifact and get a treasure. And 4 mana, we've paid 4 mana for a sorcery that does this and doesn't create a treasure ever. So doing this at common in a set these days, they don't do land destruction like this anymore. This is kind of exciting to me.
They don't do land destruction like they used to.
No, they don't. Seize the Spoils is not bad. I don't want to spend all day on it. To Scary Firewalker's alright. Vault Robber. Saw it do some fun stuff on game nights recently. Run Amok is fun. Skemfar Elder Hall. I'm probably going to play it in Elves again, because it's another one where, like, well, it enters tapped. It just makes it green. I could be playing a forest. That's a lot of mana, and tap and sacrifice it to what? Give one creature -2/-2 until end of turn. I might kill something, might string something. What? Wait. Create 2 green elf warrior creature tokens. Oh, it's a green black, and it can make 2 tokens. Okay, I'm 100% playing this in my elf deck. So, Scrimfar Shadow Sage, an elf cleric, 4 mana, 2/5. Doesn't sound like the kind of thing I won't be playing, but let's see. When it enters the battlefield, you choose one. Each opponent loses X life, where X is the greatest number of creatures you control that have a creature type in common. Oh. Each opponent loses X life. Okay, this is actually kind of sick.
Each opponent in Commander. Holy crap.
Yeah, and I might have like 7 elves, and then this enters the battlefield, and each opponent loses 7 life. Or you gain X life, where X is the greatest number of creatures you control that have a creature type in common. So if I might kill somebody, then I can use the first ability, and if I'm the one who's about to die, I can use the second. This is actually kind of good. 4 mana, I wish it wasn't. 2/5, doesn't need to be, but I might find a way to sneak this in. Oh, heck yeah. This is one of the most metal cards.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look at this art. Let's see if I can get it to focus in on this art. Holy crap, are you seeing that? This is some Cannibal Corpse stuff going on here. This is some, like, what is it, Infinite Annihilator or something, like really heavy metal stuff going on here. There's lots of corpses and blood, and the sky is completely red. Not to mention, this is a good Magic the Gathering card.
Well, by the way, it plays Magic too.
Oh, yeah, this demon plays Magic. So where am I going to play that? Oh, well, let's read the card. Varagoth, Blood Sky Sire. 2 colorless and a black, legendary creature, demon rogue. And it's a 2/3 with Death Touch. And it has Boast. For a colorless and a black, target player searches their library for a card, then shuffles their library and put that card on top of it. So, a 3 mana 2/3 with Death Touch is somewhat scary. People are unlikely to want to block this thing, because the creature that would block is either small enough that it can't kill Varagoth, or big enough that it's going to regret trying to fight Varagoth, because a 6/6 doesn't want to die to a 2/3. So a lot of people are going to be discouraged from blocking this thing. Meanwhile, in order to boast, it has to attack, but you can only activate the ability once per turn after it has attacked that turn. You only need 2, though. So while maybe logically you might attack with it and then at the end of combat, or your second main, do that ability, you can attack with it and then do it immediately during the declare attacker step. And this is where it comes in handy for me. I'm going to play it in Yuriko the Tiger's Shadow. I need ninjas in that deck, and I need creatures that people don't want to block, and I need ways of stacking the top of my deck with very expensive spells that I can drain my opponents for. With Varagoth out, I can attack, pay 2 mana before anyone gets a chance to do anything, really. Go get Draco and put it on top of my library. Then ninjutsu Varagoth after they've chosen not to block, and hit them with a ninja, and then reveal Draco and make all my opponents lose 16 life. This card may be so strong that I actually want to cut it from the ninja deck because it makes everyone terrified. Look at this art. I wouldn't blame everyone for being terrified. But I'm going to try it out. Some people might get mad. We'll see.
They might just get scared.
They might get scared. Vega the Watcher. So this is another showcase card. Non-rare in this case. It's uncommon, but it's very cool looking. 3 mana, 2/2 legendary creature, bird spirit. Flying, and whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, draw a card. I think this is one of those commanders that is not going to be mega popular, but is going to have some cool decks. Maybe budget decks, I don't know. But anyone who sits down and shows me their commander as Vega the Watcher, I give them a big old thumbs up. I'm happy that they're here. And I know someone who happens to like birds, but owls in specific, and has been wanting a good commander for a while. And Derevi was kind of not Okay, Derevi was too good. So this might be the perfect balance.
Yeah.
Also, we have Depart the Realm as my foil. I'm not super excited about that. And the last card is minigame card. Okay, don't really care about those. Okay. Yeah, because Derevi is kind of a stacks commander, and we generally discourage stacks. There's also, like, I think Essior is the new bird, but it's like a partner, and then it like protects a commander. It's not really a good commander itself that much. Oh, this is pretty. This is pretty. Who is this? Who is she? Revitalize. Oh, well, okay. We don't know who she is. She might be the god of the tree, but it doesn't say. Sulphurous Mire. Cool, cool, cool. I think these are good if your deck already has fetches. Yeah. Elderleaf Mentor, 4 mana, 3/2, Elf Warrior. When it enters the battlefield, create an Elf Warrior creature token. I don't think that's good enough for the elves. We talked about that one. This actually might be pretty good in a deck that has a mixture of snow and non-snow. Like, if there's a good reason for you to be playing not snow, like you have original dual lands, or you have those battle bond lands or something, well, this is a way of turning one of those non-snow lands into snow, and making additional mana along the way. And the enchantment itself is a snow permanent, so if you care about the number of snow, you get 2 off of it. Bloodsky Berserker, I think, is a pretty good Berserker. If you're doing the Black-Red Berserker deck, consider it. Vengeful Reaper, I think, is a really good Black Angel. This is the one I like. 4 mana, 2/3 flying, Death Touch, Haste, and Foretell. It's got a lot of things going for it. Mm-hmm. It's an uncommon. Mm-hmm. Wow. It went to the like Nighthawk school of really cool uncommons. This one didn't. This one you have to pay 2 snow in order to give it +2/+2 until end of turn. It is a snow creature angel wizard with trample. So that's interesting. I just don't think that a card that you have to like pump multiple mana into every turn in order to make it a relevant body is like that good. And then, okay, I got 3 uncommon black angels here, so they definitely went with a theme on this one. 3 mana, 2/3 flyer, Angel Berserker this time. When it enters the battlefield, mill 4 cards. If at least one angel card is milled this way, you gain 4 life. Okay. Oh, and we got one of the legendary angels. Furia, Judge of Valor. Now, I've already got 2 of her from the pre-release kit, and one of them was the alternate art that is very, very pretty. Card's not bad, though. Actually, the uncommons in this set are such good commanders. Like, some of the rares and mythics might be busted, but the uncommons are cool. They're flavorful. They're just powerful enough to be worthwhile. I would encourage anyone to build a commander deck based on any of the uncommons in this set. Whereas Sigrid, God-favored, is cool, but she's not a good commander at all, despite being a legendary creature. 3 mana, 2/2 flash, first strike, protection from god creatures. And when she enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target attacking or blocking creature until Sigrid leaves the battlefield. So she's a removal spell. She's a mid-range body with a decent ability. Flash is always good. And protection from god creatures, who knows? That might come in handy at some point. I'm probably going to play her in my mono white deck just because it's a kind of devotion to white deck. And I'm trying to do anthems, so I want as many creatures as possible, boosting my other creatures. I want my removal to be creatures if I can. So I think I'm playing this because I got a showcase one in my pre-release kit. So I'm not playing this version. And we got a double rare. Oh. So this one you'll note.
Double rare, what does it mean?
Oh yeah, all the way across the sky with flying. This one is number 374 out of nothing. Because I believe we are getting theme boosters along with this set. which, like, there's draft boosters, there's set boosters, there's collector boosters, there's promo boosters, there's foil promo boosters, and there's theme boosters. I think that's all the kinds of boosters. But theme boosters, I don't think I've ever seen them on store shelves, or anyone opening them, or anything. But they do exist, I've been told. This is true. And they contain a couple of unique cards, like 1 or 2 per color. And this is one of them. 6 mana, 4/5, flying lifelink. So power, toughness, keyword abilities are all okay. At the beginning of each end step, if you gain 4 or more life this turn, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying and vigilance. So how would a deck with this in it possibly gain 4 life every turn? Oh wait, it's a 4-power lifelink creature. So this thing's going to be churning out angels. If you're building an angel tribal deck, this is a pretty good card for it, I think. And Port of Carfell. So it's blue-black, it's a foil, mill 4 cards and return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped? Oh, okay. I'm not sure, I don't know that I'll play it in anything in particular, but it's neat. And we got, oh, giant wizard token. Cool. Okay, actually I need to take a drink. For the time being, I've only been recording and uploading these videos just straight up. No editing, no anything, so leave in a couple of seconds of me drinking soda. I may do something else with these later. This is cool art. It's a boat. Woodland Chasm, green-black. I might play this in my green-black deck, I don't know. Draugr Recruiter. Okay, I don't know that if I care so much about some of these. 4 mana at the beginning of your upkeep. Oh yeah, this card I think is a trap. 4 mana at the beginning of your end step. Each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. It builds threat from your opponents without paying it off enough. Like I play an extort deck that does pretty much this, except they're all creatures. And I can double up on my extort to do it multiple times in a turn. And I gain life equal to the total amount lost this way. And they can chump block or attack if they need to, or pick up equipment, or die and come back. They do a lot more than this. While this is automatic, it also is like an automatic hate machine. You're going to make people not like you, and they're going to beat you up because it won't protect you. Dreadrider. Wow. 6 mana, 3/7, Spirit Knight. 2, tap, exile a creature card from your graveyard, target opponent loses 3 life. I hope that's good in draft, because oof. Okay, Zombie Cleric, I'm going to skip past some of these. Not Vold, okay, cool. Arnie slays the troll. Whenever Arnie, like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnie slay the troll. 2 mana, target creature you control fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. That's not bad. Add red, put 2 +1/+1 counters on up to 1 target creature you control. Ooh, that's not bad. You gain life equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. Huh. Is this maybe good in Marath? What do you think?
It's definitely in the right colors, and yeah. It
fights
and then
make a mana and put a counter?
Yeah.
And then gain life.
Yeah, that sounds good.
That's cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, consider it. Rootless Yew. Hey, a tree folk. Somebody out there has a tree folk tribal deck, and every once in a while, every few sets, they're like, yes! We got another tree folk. Is it a good tree folk? Let's see. 5 mana, 5/4. Okay. When Rootless Yew dies, search your library for a creature card with power or toughness 6 or greater. Reveal it, put it into your hand, and then shuffle your library. Oh, I don't know. This might be a good tree. It dies and tutors up a big creature. I don't know. Might be good. Oh, I'm glad I got this. I think this card's super cool. 3 mana, 2/4, legendary snow creature, troll warrior. Like that small font they're using in order to fit a very long creature type on it. 3 colorless and tap to create a colorless snow artifact token named Icy Manalith. With tap, add 1 mana of any color. In other games, this is the kind of deck that I would build, where it's just like, okay, I'm going to spend my mana in order to make mana, and the next turn I'll spend that mana to make more mana, and then 9 turns from now I'll spend all my mana on all of my mana making, so that I can, let's see, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may cast a spell from among them without paying its mana cost. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Yeah, I think it's doing kind of the Golos thing. It's doing kind of the Kinnan thing in that first half of it makes more mana and the second half of it pays off making all the mana. Oh, it's doing kind of the Urza thing. Except it's in a much more quaint way, I think. A snowy way. I think this is the fairest version of that. And I think it's charming. Not a troll. Oh. Alright. Popped up on there. And then the rare I got is Bears of Lityara. 3 mana. Create a 2/2 blue shapeshifter creature token with Changeling. Okay. Any number of target shapeshifter creatures you control have base power and toughness 4/4. Oh, so this is for like the shapeshifter tribal deck. Because you can make any number of them 4/4s permanently, unless you don't have any, in which case that ability does nothing. Choose up to 1 target creature or planeswalker. Each creature with power 4 or greater you control deals damage equal to its power to that permanent. Get wrecked 1 thing, whatever that 1 thing is. It's okay. And then we got a snowy creature. We got my foil, which is Vault Robber. And is it the list? It is not from the list. Okay. Got a token. But I don't know. The first couple of packs had had multiple cards from the list. It needs to kind of average out to have fewer after this, so not surprising. Ooh, it's that owl. Nice. It's the showcase version. That's very cool. Vega the Watcher. All right. We got another snow-covered mountain. That's good. I might use it. X-Guard Braggart. Good in draft and sealed. Valor, right, dwarves. I was going to try to build a dwarf deck, going for like Depala, vehicles, and dwarves, but it wasn't really turning out right. It looked really clunky and awkward. Then I watched the latest episode of Game Nights with Jimmy's mono red dwarf deck, and I may build that. That looks fun. Ooh, okay, this is one of the better cards I was hoping for in this set. Tybalt's Trickery. Counterspell with, like, other text. It's a red counterspell. Blah, 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 does other things. Who cares? It's a red counterspell. You're playing a mono-red deck, or red-black, or red-white, or red anything but blue, and your opponent goes Insurrection. They go Exsanguinate for 30. They, you know, whatever else. Something that's going to just end the game. Expropriate. Enter the Infinite. Omniscience. Whatever. You counter it. And then sure, they get to go get some other... They cast some other spell from their deck. But it's random. And it's not the one that was definitely about to kill you. And I think that ability added to red is very powerful. I'm probably going to put it in my Kiki Jiki CEDH deck. I hear it's doing busted things in Standard now because you can counter your own spell and get something. And that's kind of dumb. But I'm happy to have it. And I get a second rare, and it's a good one. Yorn, not Jorn. I don't think it's Jorn. I think it's Yorn. God of Winter. This is the snowiest of the snow commanders. It is the best of the snow commanders by far, since when it attacks, you untap all your snow permanents. It's green on this side, and don't look. And it's blue and black on this side, which that makes its total color identity 3 colors, and that allows you to build a very versatile snow deck. This one allows you to like resurrect snow cards, and this one, I don't know if you've noticed, has 3 white ferrets in the art. How nice is that? Or I can't tell the difference. I don't know if it's ferrets or weasels or minks or whatever they are. But little white creatures, and they're adorable, and it's a good rare. Avalanche Caller. I wish you wouldn't call avalanches. And we got a foil Giant Ox, which is very cool. This is the blue collar card of this set. This is the workhorse, the Rocinante. It crews vehicles equal to its toughness, and its toughness is 6. This thing's a beast. But it's literally an ox and not any of those other things I said. Also, I like that it can pick up the plow and do really good work with it. So maybe. We'll see. And, oh, and a treasure token. I gotta say, I really hope I get a foil of this treasure token because it looks very pretty. I think set boosters don't have foil tokens in them. I'm pretty sure they don't. So, I did not order any collector's boosters this time around. And I want to talk about that at some point here. Nah, it's a cool art card. Snow-covered plains, that's nice. Maybe now's the time to talk about it. I got collector's boosters for Commander Legends, and I got them for Zendikar Rising, but not for this set, because Zendikar Rising and Commander Legends both have known value. They have expensive, rare cards being reprinted that we know are good and that we know are valuable. And getting foils of those is very good. And getting non-foils of cards that you already have is kind of bad. So in both of those cases, I got collector's booster boxes, and they're quite expensive, but I think those are worth it. This set, there are virtually no reprints. There are no known quantities, there are no known values. There are no cards where going into it way ahead of time, you could say, oh yeah, that card's going to be worth more than $5. You don't know. As it turns out, Vorinclex is fairly valuable. And, not Narfi, the Trickster God that has Tybalt on the back of it is fairly expensive. And the rest of them are middling. They're fine, but there's no $50, $100 rare or mythic in these sets. There's nothing that I'm sure that I'm going to play in 4 of my old decks or something. So I didn't want to invest a huge amount of money in packs that might come up kind of blank for me. And Valkyrie Sword is a perfect example. This is a 2-mana equipment that you can equip for 3, and it gives +2/+1. That is garbage, especially considering it's a white mana up here. And I like this cycle of equipment where you can, if you don't have a creature, then when you play this, you can make a creature. And that's so good. That's one of the main problems with equipments, is that if you draw the equipment and you don't draw the creatures, well, then they don't do anything. So that's why I tend to not play equipment. I tend to play creatures, because they do things, even when the equipment aren't around. But this solves the problem. You can pay 5 mana to make a 4/4 flying vigilance creature token. It's an Angel Warrior. And in a bubble, that doesn't seem bad. But that part does. So in the end, you'll be paying 7 mana for this creature. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it. But here's what I think you could do to fix it. Here's what I think you could do. You could reduce either of these costs. Down here by 1, or maybe up here by 1. Maybe this. Make it 3 colors and a white. And then move the vigilance into something that the equipment grants. So you're still making the same creature in the end for about 1 less mana, because this is a lot of mana. But now the equipment actually does something. It gives +2/+1 and vigilance. And that, I think, is worth a colorless and a white and 3. To give +2/+1 and vigilance. But they didn't do that, and the card is pretty bad, I think. 6 mana Angel Warrior. 3/3, got some Aurora Borealis stuff going on up there. When Shepherd of the Cosmos enters the battlefield, return target permanent card with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Oh no, don't tell Jay about this one. Because he's going to loop it with like Karmic Guide or something else like that, or Revelark. Totally. It's very much in line with those cards. It's not exactly the same, and you can foretell it for a little cheaper. Yeah, don't tell Jay. Clarion Spirit, 2 mana, 2/2 Spirit. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. This second spell thing would probably be a cool mechanic. It's probably good in draft and sealed and stuff. But there's no commander that supports it, I don't think. And it's not in one color, it's in all 5 colors, so you need to have like multiple of them. There's no one deck where I can think of where you'd be like, ah, yes, I will play 14 of these cards that care about you playing a second spell, and they all do different things, and I don't know. Maybe it's not for me. Maybe it's not for Commander. That's okay. Not everything has to be. 6 mana, 4/4. When it enters the battlefield, all your creatures get more power and haste until end of turn. Seems okay. I'm on the fence about playing it in my giant deck. I might. This is one of the cards I was most looking for. Although, I really do want to get a showcase version. I'd be really excited to get one later. But this goes perfect for my Xantcha deck. And you know I love my Xantcha deck. It's one of my favorites. 2 colorless, a black and a red for a legendary creature, Demon Berserker. It's a 4 mana 4/3. When it enters the battlefield, until your next turn, creatures your opponents control attack each combat if able, and attack a player other than you if able. Hey, so it goads everybody. I have a card in the deck right now, Disrupt Decorum, that is 2 colorless and 2 red for a sorcery. It just says goad all creatures you don't control. This does that, and is a 4/3 for the same mana cost. Oh, and it has other text. Whenever an attacking creature dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So, it's a death trigger. It drains everybody. It gains me life on a black-red card. I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm definitely going to be playing it. Old Growth Troll. 3 green. This is my rare of this pack. Troll Warrior for 4. It's a 4/4 Trampler. So, wow. Like, back in the day, this would have been insane. 3 green for a 4/4 Trampler. This would better be a really big drawback then, right? When Old Growth Troll dies, if it was a creature, return it to the battlefield. It's now an aura enchantment with Enchant Forest you control. And Enchanted Forest has tap, add 2 green. And, for a colorless and tap, sacrifice this land, create a tapped 4/4 green Troll Warrior creature token with Trample. So, yeah, it's a 3 mana 4/4 Trampler that when it dies, you make one of your forests better, and then you can sack the forest to make a copy of the troll. That's powerful, but in a way where I'm not sure how you'd use it in Commander. I don't know. Icehide Troll is not terribly exciting to me. Oh, that's cool. I got a foil pathway. It's blue-white. Only problem with that, I do not have a blue-white deck. Also, there is a thin line right down through the center of this. Let's see if I can catch it in the light. Can't really... I'm not really catching it in the light. Maybe just a little bit. Yeah, the foiling has a line right through the center that doesn't quite meet up. But whatever. Somebody's going to want this, just not me. It's probably valuable. Yeah, it's definitely valuable. And it's pretty. And I'm happy that I got it. But it's not a color combination I'm playing. Okay. Alright, what else am I looking for here? I think there's a couple more good giants. More pathways are good. I'd love more showcase cards. Oh! That's what I'm looking for. Not the art card, of course, but this dragon. This dragon is actually... I forgot, but it's actually near the top of the list of cards I'm looking for from this set. It's, I think, perfect in Kiki-Jiki. It makes treasures, and it makes treasures make more mana than treasures normally do. And with Kiki-Jiki, I'll make them twice as fast, and they'll be twice as big and powerful, and blah, blah, blah. If the Cosmos is alright. Kaya! Hey, alright, there's a Planeswalker. She's cool. She's the hero of this set. And may I say, I am glad that they made Kaya the hero of the Nordic set. It made a lot of people I don't like mad, and that makes me happy. No, Kaya is awesome, and I'm glad she's here. And Draugr Necromancer. This is one of the coolest cards in this set, and I'm actually sad that this is not legendary. Think about this. Yeah, if you haven't read this card, 3 colors and a black. Snow creature, zombie cleric. If a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, exile that card with an ice counter on it instead. So your opponent's creatures are dying and you're freezing them in ice? What do you do with them? You may cast spells from among cards in exile your opponent's own with ice counters on them, and you may spend mana from snow sources as though it were mana of any color to cast those spells. So it's a black way of resurrecting your opponent's dead creatures, but they do have to die, and then you have to recast them, and then it only lets you do mana of any color if you do it from snow. I think this is super cool, but what do you put it in? I guess you put it in Yorn. Other than that, I don't know. Maybe I put it in my mono black deck because I'm already playing lots of snow covered basics. It's just I normally am not casting my opponent's creatures. I don't know. It's still cool. Inga Rune Eyes is my showcase card for this pack. And just look at this art for a second. Let's see. Yeah, let's get in there. So we've got this